Right, so we are live. Good morning, everybody. This is Monday, the 20th of May, and we are live in the Bloody Brilliant Business Facebook group talking about the new Bloody Brilliant Business Club. So we have launched the club. We've got our founding members, which is really excited. So I just wanted to say a really big thank you to everybody who joined as the founding member. So that offer is now closed. Nobody else can join as a founding member. Anybody else who does join the Bloody Brilliant Business Club now will be joining at a monthly membership fee, which is fantastic. So a little bit of background about this. What are we doing? We have had in our minds for some time about developing an online membership club and taking the strategies and everything that we learn in our business and how we help our clients achieve their financial goals. We wanted to put it in a format, in a structure that we could share with other people who perhaps weren't our clients, or people who had other accountants that they're really happy with, but sometimes felt that they needed a little bit more. They wanted a progress path. So we've been thinking about this for about, 2-3 years.
Wow, yeah.
We recorded quite a few modules and courses when we first started thinking about this and created the Bloody Brilliant Bookkeeper course. But then we got so busy in our own business, we didn't use it, and we didn't then go out and promote it, which is a bit rubbish, really. So in terms of one of the most important things in business is to define a plan and then execute it and follow up on it. And we did all the first bits, didn't we?
Yeah.
We didn't follow
Trailed
up.
off towards the end.
So this is what we did. So one of the things that I really wanted to do was make us accountable. So we joined Stu McLaren's tribe group. So if you don't know who Stu McLaren is, he is probably one of the major authorities on membership groups, how to run them, how to launch them, how to deliver them. And he has this tribe program. So on a bit of a whim, I joined last week, signed myself up, and then thought, holy crap, there's a huge amount of work to be done. And out of this initial join was the idea to create a founder member launch. So the founder member launch are the people that hold you accountable and go through this journey with you from the very beginning, and they force you to get off your backside and deliver, basically. So we've launched this founder club. We've got our founder members, and now we're working through a 6-week program with Stu McLaren to define the content, to define the structure, to work out the best ways to deliver it, to work out the best ways of how to market it, because obviously having the membership club there in the first place is great. Having a Facebook club in the first place is great. But if you don't serve the members, and if you don't deliver the content, and if you don't provide the structure for them, nothing happens. It's all a waste of time. So that's what we're doing, and we're going to talk to you about this whole thing. That the idea for us is to develop a residual income for our business so that we can fulfill our own financial freedoms and fulfill our own dreams. And we're going to talk you through what we're doing as we're doing it in these Facebook lives. So we'll let you know, what was easy, what was difficult, where we fell over, where we mucked up, because we will, of course, because everybody does, and the challenges we face along the way. But if you don't get off your bum and do it, it just doesn't happen. So we now have this. Where are we now? We now have this Bloody Brilliant business group. We have a structure for the BBB group. Now, fortunately, we had the structure there already. But one of the things that we've often struggled with is having lots of content, but not having any structure. And the first lesson that Stu McLaren taught us about in terms of looking after your customers. So it doesn't matter what business you're in, what you're doing, where you are, how you're delivering a service, whatever you're doing, there is a customer journey. So for us, The customer journey is that they come to us as accountants. Their accounts might be in a bit of a pickle. So we go back to the very basics. We look at what their vision is as a business owner, as a company owner, what their financial business vision is. So there's their personal vision and there's their business vision. We then look at their books, their very basic accounts, and are they doing it correctly? Are their numbers up to date? Are their accounts in a mess? And we often see that the accounts are in such a pickle that whoever is coming to us as a new client can't actually make any business decisions because they don't see any accounts properly. The numbers don't make sense, do they?
No, not at all.
So it's a real challenge. So we then work to produce a set of meaningful management accounts. We then start looking at how to use that data to grow their business and understand their business. We then look at how to make that profitable. We then look at how to get cash in faster. And ultimately, our objective is to help our customers pay themselves more. So if you think about in your business what your customer journey is, you've got a better chance of delivering a better service or product if you understand how they start from inception and how they grow. And I've seen Amanda who said hers never makes sense. Yeah, that's a tough one, but ultimately it does, doesn't it? Amanda runs a haulage firm. But your customers come to you because they want something delivered. They don't come to you because they want to meet a nice haulier, because of course you're fantastic. They want something delivered. They want a box or a crate or something delivered from A to B. So your journey is a 24-hour journey or a morning till night journey. How the customer comes to you and has their product delivered at the end of the day. Now they want it done as quickly and efficiently as possible. They don't want the lorry to crash. They don't want the driver to take 3 hours off at the side of the road and go for a jolly. They just want everything delivered on time and in full. They don't want to miss the next connection of the journey. So I can see Whitney's on here. Hi Wits. Your customer journey starts the day somebody brings their baby for the first time to your nursery, and then 2 or 3 years later it ends when that child has done their nursery journey and they're off to school. So I remember the first day I took Cameron into nursery, I cried all the way into work and went into my first meeting all red-faced and blotchy-eyed, and it's horrible. Pete, your journey starts, I suppose it depends on which business you're looking at. Your journey starts and stops when somebody says, I want to have my wedding at your venue, and you've got to do the whole party plan and deliver their dream, so that they're only going to get married once. So it has to be the best, the most substantial, the most fantastic, amazing wedding that they've ever been to, because it's theirs. If it was anything like mine, Paul was drinking right from the offset, had a while of a time, but at the end of the night I couldn't find him. I had to follow a trail of clothes to wherever he was, wherever he ended up at the end of the evening. So that was quite funny. So everybody has, nothing's changed really. So everybody has a customer journey, and the members of the Bloody Brilliant Business Club are no different. Now, we haven't fully defined that journey. We don't know quite how we're going to get to the end of that. So we'll build that together. And the general idea of starting this club when we're not quite ready is that the founder members will help us become accountable, and we will work more closely with the founder members, because there are fewer of them than having a huge tribe of people to look after. So it's quite exciting times for you. And for us, hopefully.
It is very
a little bit scary.
Yeah, but every challenge is, to be fair, if it's not scary, it's probably not worth doing in the first place. So I think the whole point is it's meant to be a challenge, and it's meant to be a journey, because then you're getting the most out of it.
Yeah. Well, actually, what it really does is put you outside your comfort zone. So what's going to happen is every day we'll do a live here in the Facebook group, 10 minutes at 10 o'clock, although this is probably going to overrun. We're already there nearly. So 10 minutes at 10 o'clock, and we'll do a Facebook Live every day. So everybody can follow what we're doing and where we're going. And if you're not in the club, you can still do your version of what we're doing. Once that 10 minutes is over, then everybody who's in the club can then log into the club and watch the lesson and download the workbook. Now, the idea is that that should take no longer than 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 10 to 20 minutes. So we don't want to have you spend all day, every day working through the Bloody Brilliant Business Club, because then you just never get anything done. Everybody's busy, everybody's got a job to do. So we want to make sure that everything you do is delivered in teeny tiny bite-sized chunks. Yeah, so that's fine, Elaine. Catch as many as you can, but don't worry, because it'll be in the group. You can come back and watch them later. That's fine. Or you don't have to watch them at all. What we'll do in the group in our 1010s is we'll come in and we'll do a little bit of an update about what we're doing today, what today's lesson is, what the learning points are, and what we aim to deliver today. And then you'll go into the club and you'll look at the actual lesson that we've recorded for you and download your workbook. So that will be a little bit more personal. So you'll need to be looking at, you know, your business or your circumstances and what your targets are for that day. Now, if you are someone who prefers to binge learn, and I'm one of those, I generally don't have time to do something every day. I would much rather set aside and put, say, you know, Friday mornings aside in my diary, and that's my personal development or my business development time. In fact, what we've done here is we've set aside Wednesdays. So we're taking 1/5 of our entire working week out and dedicating it to building and recording the materials for this club, because in order to make this work, we've had to change our mindset and think of this as our biggest customer. It isn't at the moment, it's one of our smallest customers, but ultimately we want this to be our biggest customer. So we have to invest our time and effort in making that happen. So I'm hoping that this is delivered in sufficient quantity that you can learn, develop and grow from it, but not so much that it takes over your life and you just don't have time to run your business. So it shouldn't be invasive. What I would say is try and find a time that works for you, whether it is for half an hour every day or whether it is for a morning every week. Some people, like me, I am an early bird, so I much prefer to do stuff in the morning before the kids get out of bed, before anybody starts walking around, before the schools are open, before people start ringing. So my best time for doing my personal stuff is between 5 and 8 in the morning. So I'm an early riser, and I consider that to be my time. So I'll do what I want for me in my time, and that's when I do my learnings, my developments, my Stu McLaren stuff at the moment, or in the evening with Paul, because actually he quite likes it too. So that's where we are with the Bloody Brilliant Business Club. So after we've done this, what we would normally do is invite you to go into the club and access it. However, at the moment, we're still building that front end and putting all the resources into the club. So for today only, hopefully, if we can finish this today, for today only, I'm going to record your lesson and finish your workbook, and I'll send it out to you via email a little later on this morning. But normally you'd be invited to go into the club, log in and get on with today's lesson. So what are we talking about today? Today, got my lesson plan to the side here. Today, we're talking about your personal goals and understanding your why. You need to know why you are doing what you're doing. It's the very essence that underpins everything that you do. It's the reason that you're in business. It's the reason that you're married. It's the reason that you get out of bed in the morning. It's whatever makes you buzz, whatever makes you feel alive. So the first thing to do when we're trying to set your personal goals is to identify your why. So our first task is going to be to write down why you do what you do, why you want to do what you do. The second thing we need to do when we're looking at setting personal goals is, what does success look like? We need to define what success looks like for you. So is that, you know, a happy family? Is that a big house? Is that, you know, going out and building schools in Kenya? Understanding what success looks like for you. In lesson 3 or section 3, we're going to look at what success feels like. So what it smells like, what it feels like, with, you know, is the wind in your hair, is the sun on your face, are you in love, are you trying to think of some other, you know, are you happy, are you sad, are you, what is it that you feel, and trying to visualize that. So the step 4 is what it's going to cost you. So no matter what you do and how you do it, there is always a price, and we'll talk a little more about that in stage 4. And then in stage 5, I'm going to talk to you about strategies that are going to help you focus on keeping that why in your head and trying to maintain your direction. So it's all very well and good to set a personal goal, but if you don't keep yourself focused on why you're doing what you're doing, you won't achieve it. So anything you wanted to add?
No, I think this is the main starting point. I think everyone needs to have a starting point, and everyone needs to have the metaphorical carrot that they're trying to achieve at the end of their goal. So I think the problem is when a lot of people look at finances in general and where their business is heading, they don't go back to the basics of understanding why they're doing what they're doing, and to understand where they're trying to go with that. And then you get people skipping stages. So this is why we're structuring the layout of the club in this way. Back to basics, work out what your end result is, and then basically we can work it back to front, so to speak.
Yeah, indeed. And again, trying to keep everything focused on this personal goal. So today we're only focused on the personal goals, and tomorrow we'll be looking at your business goals. So that's it for today. We've done 17 minutes, so a little longer than I wanted to. I don't want to take up too much of your day, but we did have to waffle a bit at the beginning, so sorry about that. So for those of you that are in your club, we are going to send you your lesson and your workbook by email a little later today, and we're going to be working very hard trying to get all the materials set up and in the club for you so that we can show you what it looks like tomorrow. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.